the anniversary episode of RBN Revolutionary Blackout Network. What's up, Sabby?
What's going on, guys?
What's popping, people? What's popping, man? This is a great day. This is a great day. We decided to make the great decision of announcing the start of RBN on April Fool's Day. I remember when we first announced RBN, everyone was like, nigga, I see you. You and CJ and Ron gonna start a network. What's good going? No, we're serious. We were gonna do a live stream, but
that's funny.
Man, what a powerful 2 years it's been. I want to get JB in here as well, but I am super proud and excited about the community we built, and I got a lot of motivation expanding this going forward this next year, because just going to Seattle and talking to people who been inspired by content, like, it's different than when you read comments. Oh, that's a profile picture, right? When you meet someone who said they got engaged, they was inspired. I met this queer disabled man who showed up at Worker Strike Back because he told me that JB inspired him. Told us that JB is his hero. He never saw someone who was gay and disabled that was in this space, that was doing damn thing. So he felt motivated to do the damn thing. Talked to this other person that felt so defeated, so down after Bernie Sanders lost. They were telling me this. Then they said after hearing RBN and seeing what Rome is doing, that's what really got them to mutual aid, got them to labor organizing, and then they found Worker Strike Back. Every single person that tells us that they abandoned the two-party duopoly and electoral politics sham game because of RBN, that's as hard as my resolve. We really started the era of the post-duopoly left. No bullshitting around. So happy 2 years anniversaries, my friend. JB, what's popping my brother, man?
Happy anniversary!
Let's go.
Look, happy anniversary to all of you guys, and to all the people who have supported us along the way. Thank you so very much to you guys for, sticking with us. There was a lane that was carved out, and of course we have our predecessors. Some we may have some disagreements with, some that we have had on recently. Like, for instance, a shout out to people like Nico House, who kind of set some of the trail a little early. And so now that you have, a group of Black people that's on the left that are talking about these issues that we don't shy away from, I think that's something that was unprecedented at the time. And I think that is something that was necessary for us to have within this space. And there are other channels out there as well that are doing the work too. Shout out to Black Power Media; they're doing the damn thing too. Because the thing is that our voices were not represented in left any media, and so it needs to happen. And this is one of the reasons why RBN is such a necessary force to be able to push this out there into the narrative, as well as push out there the need for building dual power, for the need to put out there that this system does not serve anybody, but also putting it in a perspective from ours. We have unique voices from not just a Black voice. We have Sabby with the woman's voice, my voice, from a queer person's voice, and my voice also from a disabled person's voice. So the thing is that this is what's necessary, because we wear these hats and people don't get this perspective as much in independent media, much less corporate media as well.
Oh, I think you're muted, CJ.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I said my apologies earlier. My sound got kind of messed up and weird in the beginning, and I just want to piggyback off what a lot of what all of you have already said. We didn't, I didn't think we were gonna grow as fast as we did. Not to say that we're giant, but we're, I didn't think we'd be at 32,000 or wherever we're at. 2 years into it, I thought it would take a lot longer than that. But it was because we struck a chord because anybody can start a network, and other people have tried to start a network. But if you strike a chord in your tone and what you're saying, I think that's the response that we got. And there's some ups and downs. People are, some things people don't agree with us all the time, but we do appreciate that. You appreciate that we're always coming from an honest place, and a place where we're passionate about, even if you disagree. So that's
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, and our brother Rome is going to be joining in around 15 minutes. And I'm gonna say it, okay? I'm gonna just fucking say it. If it wasn't for us, you still have people giving softball interviews to Marianne Williamson. Hey, because I know you guys know people stepped it up since then.
Yeah.
Ever since then, people start asking.
No, we've had an effect. We've definitely had a ripple effect. You can tell in certain specific pseudo networks that we talk about. You can literally see a difference in what they coverage after some of our criticism, or just us being in the space. So, and we just look to use our voices to influence even more. Like, they were fine with us. Oh, a new black voice being here, as long as we're saying Medicare for all, as long as we're saying. But when we start saying no to Joe Biden, it's like, you guys are the dumb left, and they're the dumb left. So listen to us. Any other words before we kind of get through some of the things you want to do? Go ahead, Savvy.
I'll just say that, like, over the past 2 years, meeting people on the ground, or meeting you guys, the viewers on the ground, has been amazing. Like, and I don't think, I didn't realize until I started meeting people on the ground how much we actually were affecting people. When I went to the recent rally in DC, I met a couple people from Canada. They came all the way from Canada to come to the anti-war rally in DC. And they said that RBN actually made them do mutual aid. So they started organizing mutual aid in Canada. And we didn't invent or create, like, mutual aid. But I think that it was interesting to me how many people have told me in person that they didn't even know what mutual aid was.
Yes.
Until, like, they saw Rome, like, doing what he's doing. They saw about Tour for the Poor. Like, they didn't even know this existed. And people have also told me that, like, oh, there was another option outside of electoral politics. Like, I don't just have to go vote for somebody. I can actually help people in a different way. And so I think we have had, an effect on people, and it's good to see. It's good to see. There's a gentleman, sometimes he's in the live chat. He's from the UK, and he said Rome inspired him to start his own mutual aid chapter in the UK.
Yeah, and what the sad part is, and this is why I got into independent media, because I realized how bad the boutique left Birdie Industrial Complex was. We didn't invent mutual aid, as Savvy said. We didn't create the concept. You just never heard about it before RBN. All these people with these giant channels never talked about it. Never talked about organizing, never talked about mutual aid and that kind of stuff. So that was the big thing that was missing, and I felt that energy dump after Super Tuesday, and people just had no idea what the fuck to do. And then meanwhile, all the boutique left channels, they was like, well, I guess we gotta vote for Biden now.
Yeah.
What can we do? We're fucked, guys. They call people who don't vote Democrat nihilists, but they are the biggest nihilists there are. When Donald Trump won the first time, when Bernie Sanders lost the second time, their mentality was like, oh my God, we're fucked. Oh, it's over. Oh, the left is doomed. Meanwhile, RBN, the post-Bernie Sanders left, we came out there and said, we're not fucked. We can save ourselves. We can organize. I got the super chat. I think this would be a heavy Q&A super chat stream. I'll pass to you, CJ, or anyone else who wants to.
I'll put some pictures in the background. Just play some of our pictures that we've done, some of our community work, and they'll play with no sound in the background in a minute here. So go ahead.
Thank you for $25, TC Blondie. RBN inspired us to feed our houseless neighbors. And guys, if only one person told me that, I would be happy as hell. If only one person told me that they got involved in feeding the homeless and mutual aid, that'd be enough for me to got into it. But seeing messages like this from TC Blondie, great to see. Great to see. Meanwhile, the goals of other channels is to help progressives fundraise. Thanks for $5, Roger Meadows. I can already guess who the invisible woman is, and I would figure Jay is being grim Rome is not here yet. He'll be here in like 10 minutes now. I'm pretty sure he sent that before that. But so I guess he's Dr. Doom, but who's reading Johnny? Yeah, as someone who read a lot of Marvel, I can appreciate the references there. I think
What is those? I don't know what they are referencing, even though my wife is all into that. What is that reference?
Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too into
Right.
Fantastic Four, but I get the reference.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Steve Wolfbrand as well for the super chat. Another shout out to Saul Atlantis. These are 2 solidarity super chats. Hola Chicos, Hola Sabis. Thank you for the $10. Saul, CJ, Savvy, JB.
Yeah.
Anything they want to add?
One of the things that I think want to bring out too is that from watching what I like to call the legacy left, one of the things I didn't see was a lot of activists that were talked about or interviewed.
Yes.
And another thing is, and I know me and Sabby had a stream on Thursday.
That shit was fire, son.
Yeah. But one of the things that we were also talking about was there's a lot of people who were not talking about police abolition.
Yes. Yeah, JB.
They do not talk about, or if sometimes they may talk about reparations, but they'll talk about and say, oh, we just disagree with reparations. But the thing is, they don't have people who are pro reparations on the left on any pro reparations anti-capitalists, like for instance, us and Savvy, right? And I know Savvy talks about it a lot, and it's like, well, why don't you have her on to talk about it? You're right. Or why don't you have those of us who are a little bit more astute to the facts and figures on, or for instance, like, why don't they talk to us about the effects of some of these policies that, like, for instance, you'll have some that will back someone like Bernie Sanders, but was he really fighting for the Black community at all? We have to take that, because hindsight's always 2020, and a lot of them will back up, the Bernie Sanders, but come to find out, he's not really backing us up as a community. So I think that is also really important for us to show that, there was an interview, and one of the things that it was an interview back in 1963, and it was some leaders of the Black Liberation Movement. One of the people that were sitting there was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And one of the things that they said is that Black people have been treated in a special way in this country in a negative sense, and it's time for Black people to be treated in a special way in this country in a positive sense. And so a lot of times you may have people who go, well, you guys, talking about, race, you guys just need to talk about class and leave that out. When in reality, we're here to tell you that race and class are intrinsically intertwined. We came here as second-class citizens, and we still are to this day. And we were the original second-class citizens in this country. So for us, it is intrinsically linked. And the thing is, white supremacy made us second-class citizens in this country. So when it comes to our liberation, that is intrinsically linked to uplifting the proletariat so that we can have a workers type style revolution in this country, so that we can actually have a more equal, equitable, and egalitarian society. You cannot do this without uplifting and upholding the most disenfranchised people in our nation. And we represent a very large subset of that population. And people start listening to people on the left, especially those of us who are Black.
But what are your qualifications, JB? What are your qualifications? That's what they used to say before RBN.
I can use this. Guess what? Then guess what? I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. Like, people will go, oh, well, we can't talk about it. And I'm like, why not? Right? Because the thing is that it was taught by W.E.B. Du Bois. It was talked about by Malcolm X. It was talked about by Fred Hampton. It was talked about by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It was talked about by Assata Shakur, all these different people. And the thing is that they were extremely prolific and prodigious in their mentality when it came to revolutionary thought. So therefore, if we're copying the same thing, then guess what? And they were so effective that they either got ostracized or murdered. Guess what? It was means because they were effective. The thing is that that's what our goal is to be effective in uplifting the proletariat, but it also includes the most disenfranchised of us. So that's what my qualifications are. This kinky hair, that's my qualifications. I'm sorry, but that's what it is.
People forgot there was a very complicated psyop that replaced journalism as a profession of the working class to the profession of the elites. For a very long time, I'm not saying it was perfect. I'm not saying it was always perfect, but for a very long time, journalism was considering a working class profession. Then all of a sudden, it became the profession of Yale and Harvard. And what college do you go to become a journalist? Do you go to journalism school? The era of journalism school ruined media, ruined independent thought and adversarial fourth estate journalism. And people are not used to seeing working class people. The only black people they are used to seeing in this space are people that came from Harvard. That's it. So when RBN hit the scene, for the first time, they saw raw, non-filtered opinion. And I'm not saying if you're educated, your opinion not matters, but I'm saying open the opinions up to everybody. Before, it was only the blue eyes. I'm not trying to shut people out who do got college degrees, who are successful and educated. Your opinion matter as well. But before, the opinion of someone like me, a black college dropout, a disabled person like JB, would never be heard. Never be heard.
Yeah, that's why even Matt Taibbi talked about this, that journalism has become more of an elite profession now. It's like, what school did you attend? And, what internship did you have? Like, people who are getting those jobs like the New York Times and the Washington Post, a lot of these people are coming from Ivy League institutions, and it didn't used to be that way, where real journalism was a working class profession and it was about hitting the pavement to get these interviews from people. It was brunt work and hard work. And now it's just become more of an elite profession. And that makes it difficult for people who have not attended those institutions. Like, it doesn't mean that they're not intelligent. It doesn't mean that they don't have the experience. But unfortunately, the journalism world, including independent journalism, has fallen for that trap.
And the people that you see in media, because their parent and their daddy knew somebody, because they got admission to Yale, because their legacy, then because they become a journalist, the dumbest people in politics. I'm gonna cover this story next week. There's this liberal person who wrote this column, was like, "Oh my God, how Ron DeSantis is implementing communism in Florida." Motherfuckers write for the Atlantic, writing ridiculous stuff like that. So isn't it funny how the exact opposite thing happened? Where I'm sure they envisioned that if we turn journalism to an elite academia school, that will make it more of a meritocracy system. We'll weed out the bad journalists. You had to go through this intense system and process, so only the cream to the crop rises. No, it's the exact opposite. So when they strip journalism from being a working class profession and now they turn it to elite profession, it became a class check. Are you a member of the ruling class? Do you know the right people? So it actually stopped becoming meritocracy when it became an elite education profession. How ironic is that? You would think it would be the exact opposite, but it's not. Because, as we mentioned before, decolonize your mind. Elite academia means jack shit. I know I'm ranting now. We're trying fun. Mean jack shit. That means you just memorize propaganda.
Not to mention, some of those journalists have ripped off other journalists too. Yeah. Like, we've seen that happen, before in this space. And you have journalists like walking across the stage to accept awards that the work they actually stole from someone else who was already working on that story before them.
Yep.
But because of who they are and because of who they know, they were able to take the credit for it. And that happens more often than people realize. I think that there's a lot of people that are just slept on, and when we talk about like Black voices in the space, that doesn't just mean that you only want to talk to us when you're talking about police brutality or you're talking about a quote unquote Black issue. How many people are bringing these Black voices on to talk about foreign policy? How many of them bring on Garland Nixon? How many of them bring on, Margaret Kimberly besides us? How many of them bring on Nick to talk about foreign policy? So this is something that's very noticeable. You can add Danny Haiphong into that mix too, because I don't see him being invited on Breaking Points, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or you
So,
guys can have
Aaron
guys
Mate, he just went to the UN. You mean the UN is good enough, but they're not? Like, come on. Go ahead, JB.
Well, yeah, I mean, and look, I forgot to mention him, and I apologize, but Colin from Indie News Network. I mean, he literally lived in Uganda for a short while, and he's the son of immigrants, and he's also in education. So the thing is, like, but you guys, don't bother to look at him either. And so I think that's a really good point.
And I think that's one of the reasons why a crucial start RBN. That's why it's great that there's a Black Power Media. And this is me speaking here, my personal opinions. We need to stop begging these motherfuckers. You guys know my approach. I tell you guys all the time. I don't beg. Like, I don't ask to go on people's shows. I'm not gonna beg you come on. Like, if you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. And I think Black people need to insert independence, and we need to create our own space. And that frustrates people to hear. Like, the white leftists are here, they're like, "What are you saying?" We have no choice. If we do not have RBN, we do not get platformed. If it wasn't for RBN, you guys know who I am? We guys know who JB is? We know any of these people are? The first person who platformed me was Nico House, another Black commentator. I told you guys that before. So we got to platform ourselves. We got to stop begging these people for attention. We got to make it so we're undeniable. And obviously, well-intentioned white allies and other allies, they will gravitate to our message because they are well-intentioned, right? So we need to create our own space. We need to have radical solidarity and empathy for each other, and then have people follow us. We need to lead this movement. For a long time, the boutique left and the white left, honestly, have led this movement when they're not in the people that they claim they're fighting for. And so I don't think we should beg for it. If they don't want to talk to us, that's fine. But we need to create our own space, and that what me and Nico was talking about when I had my interview with Nico last week, where it's like, man, it was almost like an enemy of my enemy kind of shit. Like we had to come together, and together we were more powerful because people like Nico, Margaret Kimberly, all these people are the excommunicated. But I'm just ranting. Go ahead, Fabi.
And Margaret Kimberly is an author, by the way. She's not just a journalist. Like, she's written multiple books. She published a book just last year called Presidential, where she talks about like the presidents and in reference to the Black community. Like, she's just as, she has a radio show. Like, she's just as notable as some of the white journalists that they bring on multiple times. I think Black Agenda Report gets slept on. I think Black Power Media gets slept on. And it's unfortunate. I think sometimes people get intimidated when they see more than two Black people on the screen. I'm just being honest. They're like,
that's absolutely real talk. That's absolutely
can't have more than two. Can't have more than two.
Mm-mm. Nope. Guess what? Yeah. You got 4 on your screen right now. Boo.
And these are the people they claim they fight for. Because guess where I was at? This is the Casey Tennant rally that I reported on. There was other so-called independent media people in Kansas City that was not there. Just FYI. And you look at the screen. What does this look like? Does that look like the representation you see from the boutique left? And when you go to Casey Tennant's rally, because Kansas City has 3 times higher Black people than national average. A lot of people don't know this. We got a high Brazilian, a high Latin American population. So when you go to the inner cities, the people who are victims are real estate developers and landlords are mostly Black people. There has been a Black exodus. There are tenants who call it a programmed Black genocide of Kansas City, where they're making living in the city unaffordable. So that number I gave you guys about Black spend 3 times higher than national average, that's dated. That's like 10 years ago. I looked that up. Like the numbers in black people and Latinos in Kansas City has been decreasing because gentrification and real estate and landlords screwing these people who have no way to fight back. So the people who are fighting back is a rainbow coalition. Look, Black, white people, Latinos coming together and fighting the capitalists and the landlords. That is the message of RBN. That is what we want to put out there.
Let me jump in here and let's offer JB the last 5 minutes, because the rest of us got another 15 minutes, but he only has 5 minutes left. So let's JB. I want to hear what you have to say on the future of RBN. Just wrap up. Like, what do you want? This is just JB. You're speaking. Like, if you could just click your heels and make it go this way. What do you want the future of RBN to be the next year? So when we're back here a year from now for another anniversary stream, you want to be able to say, hey, this past year we did what? Like, what are some of the things you want us to start working towards?
Wow, CJ just told me to click my heels. Now I feel like Diana Ross in The Wiz. But he's on down the road. But one of the things that I want to see is that the growth is commensurate with the amount of people that are getting out there and building mutual aid and helping people to build organizations that they can have, so that we can leave the dependence on the government, so that we can build the communities that help us to have a base so that we can change this government from the ground up. I think that's one of the most important things. And I want us to grow to a point, I don't want us to grow to a point out of making it lucrative for us. I want our growth to be big so that it catches a lot of attention and it pushes people to walk outside their doors and go, oh, you live next to me? Hi, my name is, and then it's like, okay, what do you need? You need you just had a kid? Okay, you need diapers? Okay, you need formula? You need baby food? Do you need trips to and from the doctor? Okay. And then they're like, oh, okay, this neighbor here, this neighbor also does computer work. You need your computer worked on? Okay, cool. And then it's like, okay, I know you're disabled, but you know how to bake pies? Okay, I need a couple pies, and then we're going to bring it over to this organization here. They're doing some protests out there. Let's give them some pies. And then another person is like, okay, you're late on your rent. Let's gather some people up together so we can get you help with your rent. This is what I want RBN to be. RBN needs to be, we'll give you the information, but at the same time, we're also directing attention to, okay, here's the Strive Pensacola, for instance. They're out there doing their damn thing and helping people who are trans. Or you have KC Tenants out there helping people that are losing their homes. Or you have Workers Strike Back out there that are going to different people. Or you have organizations that were built up around there, shout out to you, Roger Meadows, that are actually building up more co-ops, right? They're building up co-op organizations to help people, democratize their workplace or things like that. So there's so many different things that we could be as a catalyst for. This is what I want to see, and this is what I'm trying to do. And then also direct people's attention to, this is the system. This is how bad it is. This is why we need to divert our attention away from the people. The Democrats and Republicans are a distraction. They're a distraction for you. They're a distraction to keep, like, for instance, the latest people that are running right now, Merriam Wisdom, they're a distraction because they're distracting you away from what's actually you need to be doing as a community for your people. And so even if you still believe in electoral politics, all right, go independent, go third party, whatever. Go ahead, do the thing. But your primary focus is the people, your people. And by your people, I mean everybody that is a citizen that's part of the working class. Those are your people.
Yeah, and Rome just got here, so we do have a couple of seconds of overlapping where you actually see all 5 members on the screen. So take your snapshots, everybody. 2-year anniversary. 2-year anniversary of what started out as Fred Hampton Leftists, and now we are Revolutionary Blackout Network. The thing is, Rome, when Rome offered this name, Nick and I was like, I don't know about this name. I don't know about this shit right here. But now it feels like we should not be known as anything else. It doesn't feel like anything else but RBN is us. FHL now kind of feels foreign to me. But when he first said Revolutionary Blackout, like me and Nick was like, we don't know about this thing.
Now that name is fucking it's legendary now.
Yeah, I basically
Yeah.
because remember I ain't gonna lie, I was high as hell, man. I ain't come up. We was all like, come up with some names, come up with like 5 names, write them down. I'm like, oh my god, I ain't got nothing written down. Everybody's like, we gotta have revolution in it. It gotta have something to do with black. It gotta. I'm like, well, revolutionary blackout.
You know, it's
I
kind of
was freestyling. I didn't know what the fuck I was saying. Everybody's agreeing with me. I was like, oh, hey. Yeah.
It's kind of poetic though, because you were high, which means that it was kind of poetic, because we're always demonized, for cannabis, in our community, and then the fact that you came up with a fire name, we were like, all right.
I still can't wait for Nick's other show where he's gonna be teaching people. Well, he's gonna be teaching people instructions how to do classes on MMA, kicking it with Nick.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that with the Kansas City chapters. I need to set up cameras to, like actually having.
Oh yeah, we gotta set up cameras of you doing that. All right. Also, JB is taking off. So, all right, JB.
All right,
everybody.
JB,
happy anniversary to all you beautiful people. Rome, I didn't get to speak to you today, but bruh, love you, Nick, love you, CJ, love you, Sabby, love all you, and y'all can't get rid of me.
We won't try.
We won't try.
But I think that's one of the things I'm gonna do for my chapter. We definitely gonna do like free martial art training or something like that. Maybe like community jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. Because I think that's another form of mutual aid. Like if you know how to cook, teaching people how to cook, like teaching people how. Me and Zoya, we talking about we're gonna have like a 1-day long training Sunday talking about how to survive late stage capitalism, like discussing how to get started on crafting, like learning how to defend yourself is a big part of that as well, and that's mutual aid because especially with the rise of the UFC, MMA, and kickboxing, like training is unbelievably unaffordable. I remember when I first started when I was like 17, like you can train, you pay $50 a month, and I used to train. Now it's like, bro, we go to school here, and it's Kansas City, it's cheap here. It is cheap here, and that shit is like $200 a month minimum.
Good
you train now in a jiu-jitsu school. So I'm lucky I learned early. So now I teach people shit for free. Teach people basic combos, 1, 2, 3 leg kick, how to roll with punches, how to throw hooks, how to defend themselves, how to stay balanced. Like these things are giant when it comes to defending yourself, and helping teach people stuff that they otherwise would not have access to is a form of mutual aid. Is a form of community building. So they kind of spoiled my answer. I know you will ask me that later. That's definitely a part of what I want.
Well, let's talk about it since you're already here. So one of the things we wanted to address was like, what are some of the things we want to do at our individual chapters? Let's start with KC. Since you're talking about KC, we saw the KC tenant. So that's part of your journalism you're going to be doing, Nick and KC. So you can kind of talk about that, and then also some of the other things you want to do.
I'll be so close to getting Casey tennis on, but they hard. I was just talking to some person about this earlier. I'm good friends with a few of them, and I'm definitely going to help them with the tenant union. They're working on the largest tenant union in this nation's history right now. So but they're nowhere to be found in South Kansas City. They mostly directly in the city, North Kansas City. So I was talking to the guy when I was doing the event. That event that he showed, I was talking to a few of the communicators there, and I was just like, man, I can easily help you guys do this in South Kansas City. But we need tenants bad. Tenant unions bad over here. Everyone's getting fucked over. Everyone's getting fucked over here when it comes to rent. Everyone's rent going up. I don't even like my place. I stay here just because my landlord didn't fucking jack my rent up the way I've seen other people's rent been jacked up. I told you guys multiple times how many people I took it in just in the last few years. So housing is something that's extremely important to me. So I'm going to be doing that. Rome motivated me a lot. And so during this part of my organizing, I want to continue to do mutual aid and push that. I already got a few people who reached out to me. More Kansas City comrades, if you see this, feel free to do the same. Because it's infectious. When we did Tour for the Poor in Kansas City, already have people that said hit me up when y'all already launched the chapters, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So between that, mutual aid, and I'm not only talking about just diaper giveaway, not only just because I'm talking about like martial arts training, other skill learning that I can get people to help us with as well. That what I can do. Like I have a friend who's really good with guns. I'm not good with guns. And I was like, man, you need to teach me how to shoot. And we teach people how to shoot. That just be shit that's gonna scare the shit out of liberals. We're gonna have a fucking Kansas City socialist gun organization. Now I'm talking about long term, like this shit that I'm gonna be building.
Long term, yeah.
Right. I got a lot of ideas that be popping out of my head, and I'm like, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna do it, but shit, I might well try. And that's my primary goal. In my part with this, my primary goal, especially when I log on here, is to piss you guys off enough that something snaps in you. And you're like, fuck this shit, I'm about to organize. Like, I want people to feel so hopeless out of the two-party duopoly. They're like, man, apparently we got no fucking chance in terms of elections. I'm not going to fucking organize. So I get you guys pissed off at Bernie Sanders. I get you guys pissed off at the good guys. I don't go for the easy targets. It's easy to go after Joe Manchin. No,
Why not to go at the Republicans? Why you don't go at the Republicans?
No, I want to cut the head off the biggest hope that you guys have. Like, once I get you guys to realize that Bernie Sanders and them was a fraud, then you must organize from there. You must. And once I tell you guys that Marianne Williamson is full of shit, then what's the answer then? People always say this all the time. I know you guys see the comments. Oh, you guys don't like no one. What's the answer then? Save ourselves. Save ourselves. Build community. Let's do it the hard way, but the right way. And my strength is what I was designed to do when I talk about how fucking the evil criminals in our government. You look at my live stream I did on Friday, talking about the evil criminals in our government, so we can organize. And we're gonna organize locally through Kansas City here, build chapters here. Just once you guys get really angry, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry in our streams. But at the end, as Zoya said, we need to channel that energy, that emotion that you feel at the end of every single live stream after we talk about some depressing ass shit, and then we laugh a few times. Take that energy, organize. And my last thing I'm gonna say, the pretty last thing I'm gonna say this whole live stream is don't fall for the bullshit where they want you to fear your neighbor. Like we built this community, and this one I'm extremely proud of. Like, we brothers and sisters here. I went to Seattle, I met Andrew, and we was brothers. Never met before, but me and Andrew was brothers because he was on Nick at Night. I met another friend I knew quite a long time, but a fan of RBN. I met her, she showed me a good time. Brothers and sisters immediately. And people are depressed, and people go in their social, their internet created spaces. You know, people go down the right wing rabbit holes. People have like their little fucking thing they do online. It's because they have no community. They don't have real life community that we are missing, and that is what I want people to kind of build on. That's my final thoughts, and that's my preaching for this anniversary. I'll read the subject. I literally just saw this. I'll read this, and then we can pose that question to Savvy. And then roll. Then I think we can wrap.
And then I'll end it. Then I'll wrap it. I'll wrap it up.
Thank you for $5, Andre. Happy birthday, RBN. Thank you for all the work you do in spreading revolutionary discipline whilst loving our neighbors. Hashtag worker strike back. Very fantastic super chat, my friend. I passed it to Savvy. I think I asked God knows we was going around. You know, the same question, your goals, and what you kind of plan on doing in like organizing with your chapters in Boston, and what you see in terms of as a commentator, your goals are moving forward, Savvy.
I think one of the things with the Boston chapter is we want to teach people some type of financial literacy, because this is something that a lot of people, and it's not their fault, but it's not taught in the school system. I mean, unless you go to college and you major in like economics or something financial, a lot of people just don't know. They don't have like financial literacy. They don't know, what it means to have like an overdraft fee. They don't understand like what it means, what even something like inflation really means. Like, they don't understand those things. So we want to have that definitely, for sure. Financial literacy. The other thing too is alternative paths after high school. And this is because college is continuing to just increase tuition. The state schools here are expensive now. So it's like, we want those kids in high school to understand that you don't have to go to a 4-year college. You could go to a trade school. You can go to community college. And we want to remove that stigma from community colleges as well, is that these aren't good enough schools, or you're not smart if you go to a community college. You have to show people other paths, because most people I talk to, They don't want their kids to take out any student loans because they don't want their kids to be in deal with a lot of student loan debt that people are dealing with right now. So that's two alternative paths outside of high school. And then the third one is housing. So a lot of people have left, 8,000 people they're estimating right now, because the cost of housing and gentrification is similar to Kansas City and other cities as well. It's just not affordable for the average person to live here anymore. And they're increasingly increasing the rents. So one of the things we want to do, along with the United Front Against Displacement, is we need to teach tenants their rights. A lot of these tenants that I've spoken to, they don't even understand that in Massachusetts, you actually have more rights as a tenant than other states I've lived in, but they don't know their rights. They don't know that what's being done to them by their landlord is illegal. So that's another thing. We really want to focus on that and trying to help those people understand some of the dangers with affordable housing, that it's not even really affordable, and they're privatizing housing that's supposed to be affordable per se. But we just want to teach them those types of things that they're not getting that information, it seems like, anywhere else. And then in reference to commentary, my goal is to work on articles more. I've been starting and then stopping. So that's why I go to work on articles more. Yeah. And then also to go to more things like in person on the ground. Like I really do like going to rallies and covering rallies. So I want to continue doing that and try to do some more local actions as well, because
rallies and actions is so fun, man. It's so fun.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, it's fun. And then also a worker strike back. I went to the one for Boston. And they have a lot of things planned already. I mean, you want to talk about goals. Like one of their goals is to unionize Amazon across the country, across the whole country. Not many people are even talking about it. Like we talked about it, but most of these people have not even had Shama on or anyone from Worker Strike Back on or Social Alternative. And they reached out. Exactly. So it's just, you're keeping a piece of information that I feel is crucial for the workers. You're keeping that information away from your audience, and that is very suspect to me. So those are my goals.
Absolutely. And before we go to Rome and in LA or my chapter, make sure, if you are interested in volunteering for any of these chapters that we're talking about, just email us. And, in the subject title for Boston, if you're in Boston area or you want to help out Sabby, you just put, Boston chapter. If you're in KC, put KC chapter. If you're in Detroit, put Detroit chapter. And for me, technically, I'm going to be calling my chapter the Long Beach chapter, because the activism is popping in Long Beach. I already kind of have a bunch of people that I know because I went to college and high school, part of my high school in Long Beach. So that's where I'm going to be running mine out of. But let's go to Rome, and then I'll wrap it up, and we'll wrap up the stream for you guys today. We wanted to keep it very short today, so let's go to Rome. What do you want to do? I mean, you're already executing a lot of what's happening in your chapter, like the library, the RBN library is going to be pivotal. But can you talk to people about what you want to do in Detroit, at the Detroit chapter?
Like once everything is up and running, of course, we're gonna have the library, which the official last fundraiser is up. I'm gonna need you guys to share that. The last fundraiser is up. We're trying to raise $10,000 and open up the building by next month. So
okay, you got it. Go ahead, Nick. I was just about to put it up.
And,
I found it.
We're also going to be doing woodshop classes for kids 9 through 19, and for adults 20 to whatever. We're gonna have gun classes. I'm gonna have a gun club. For people who want to learn how to shoot, take down their guns, learn how to melt your guns and not sell them. Just prepping the people for the revolution, teaching the kids how to build, how to destroy. I'm gonna take the kids that's learning how to build from there. We're gonna go to my community garden a mile away from there. We're gonna be teaching them how to grow food, how to just how to be one with how to be one with the land, how to be one with nature again. We also gonna have a barber school for kids. Barber school. I got a whole bunch of clippers just laying around. I figure it's not that hard to teach people how to cut hair. Make sure that because that's like one of the things that we always have to keep up is our appearance, especially being young and black out here. If you ain't got it like that, you better make it look like you got it like that. You got to keep a sharp hairline. You got to keep, yourself together. And, it'd be better if we can teach them instead of having them going to the barbershop, spending $20 every goddamn week. They can learn how to cut their own hair, teach their offspring, et cetera, et cetera. And we're also going to be teaching people how to do taxes, because it's also a tax school that's going to be right next to the library. The building is basically split. But I had talked Ronnie into, instead of opening up a tax office, open up a tax school and just teach people classes on how to do their own taxes. So we're going to be doing that also next to the library. That's all I got planned so far. But yeah, I'm working on the gun club and a wood shop class right now. I think I need probably like one more saw. I think I need one or two more tools to make it a full set, so everybody can have something, everybody can do something, and we're gonna take those kids once they and what they are learning. We're gonna help them basically build. Like, this is what we did in woodshop. We built a small building. We built a small house in woodshop class. We're gonna be doing the same thing. So, and we're gonna put it on the community garden, so they can always come and say, "Hey, I built that. I helped build this," and we can build on to it or whatnot. But it's all a dream right now. But we almost there.
Absolutely.
Big things. But that's the fundraiser that I have on the screen, guys. The goal is 10K because it's a lot of work that need to be done. Computers, laptops, books. You can donate as well. You guys can go on your own time. I retweet it out, but make sure you guys check this out and help our comrade out on this. So that's great stuff. TJ, you get the final.
Yeah, so I'll kind of round it up here. And what I do want to say, because I don't know if somebody said it just now, I can't remember. Somebody just said in the comments, or it was earlier in another stream. But so if Nick is doing something at a local chapter, people want to know how. We want to know what they're doing in KC. We want some training. That's why we can stream. That's why we can stream some of these things of course, we can only stream stuff we can stream. I don't know how we can do it. Maybe we can make our chapters all members or something like that, and then we can set it as a members only, and it only streams to them. However we do it. So if Nick is giving some classes in self-defense in KC, we can stream those classes so that people who are not in KC but still want that. If in Boston, Sabby is having some financial aid tutoring going on, she can stream that. And so that other people around the nation can get it, and so forth and so on with the other
I have no idea how salty I am, because my OG followers from back in the day would know my old YouTube channel that had my sparring videos on there that got hacked, and those videos are gone. So I'm gonna get some more videos on there. It's gonna be dope. Yeah, I gotta show you. Because I used to post them on Twitter all the time, and people were like, hey, I used to show my old sparring videos. But big shout out to this man. Also, big shout out to Kit as well. Their anniversary. I saw this comment you left earlier.
Yeah, I saw that too. There's their
Harlan's Media started the same birthday. So happy anniversary to our comrades at Harlan's Media. Kit, we gotta do it again. I know Kit was mad because when I had Nico on, Nico got into Star Wars and I was lost. He was like, "Man, felt left out." I felt left out. And you would have been great for that conversation. I had no idea what the hell was going on. So Kit, I owe you a conversation. So,
but Kit thinks Palpatine was right.
See, I wish I knew what that means. But I feel like that's a spicy take. I feel like it's a spicy ass take. I wish I really knew what it means. I know the basics of Star Wars because you can't miss it, right? It's in mainstream pop culture, but I don't know it like that. But
the intricate details. But yeah, some of the things we're gonna be doing at at the Long Beach, and I'm gonna just call it the Long Beach LA CPT or Compton chapter, because Long Beach, these are all cities that border each other. But since I got family. I went to high school there, or part of my high school. I went to college. I know a lot of people in Long Beach, lots of work. So I'm like, you know what? That's probably where I can be the most effective. Is in Long Beach. So let's do Long Beach. So if you are in Long Beach or surrounding and want to help this Long Beach chapter, please email us, and I'll put the email up in just a second. But one of the things, so basketball training, that's one of the things for kids.
Oh, that'd be
So
fire.
so for kids, so like middle school, elementary, I've done this before. I used to have a team. I used to have coach an AAU team. When my son was younger, he's now an adult, but when my son was younger, I coached him and his team, AAU. We were pretty good. So give that sort of training out here. I know there's a housing project in Long Beach. This is actually what some of the team members were from. So I'm going to probably go back to that housing project and just, ask their family, hey, you want to get your sons and daughters into some sports? It's completely free. They don't have to pay anything. We'll, try to provide transportation and pick them up and that type of thing. And provide some free training, free basketball training. Some other things, like when Tour for the Poor was here, we're gonna be, having food bonanzas. I think I'm gonna call it food bonanzas down at Skid Row. Some other housing projects, Nickerson Gardens. We're gonna be working with the Watts Community Corps. They do work like on a daily basis there, but we'll just be there periodically helping them with their events. And then there's some other organizations that reached out, a communist organization that reached out that's in Long Beach that wants to help with one of the projects. The project is called Carmelitos Projects. It's in North Long Beach. It's right on the border of Compton. I actually used to live in there too. And it's funny story is when I moved from LA Compton to this area, I thought I was moving up until I went to school. And everybody put me in. It was like, you live in. I was like, yeah, I live in Carmelitos. Yeah, yeah, I live in Carmelitos. It was like, you live in the Carmelitos, man. I was like, what? Now that's when I understood like the levels of like poverty. That's when I kind of first understood like, okay, like I was real poor. Now I just moved up to just being regular poor. Okay, I guess so. But anyway, so that's some of the work. Oh, I have it written down here. Skid Row. Oh, journalism. That's the one I was missing. I was trying to remember. This is actually going to be a big part of this chapter. So if you are a person who wants to be a renegade journalist in Long Beach, this is where this is going to be prevalent. Like I want volunteer journalists, and then of course if they become good and they start to have some kind of Substack and they're getting money, that's all fine and all up to them. But I do want to begin getting out there and getting information out there because I was just doing a little research, and there's a lot of independent people that I'm getting to get with in Long Beach. They're already kind of doing this work out here and going to the city halls. The city hall in Long Beach is real active with protests. Like when it's something to protest about, like it's packed down there. So Long Beach is the spot. Long Beach is the spot that's going to be the place to do this.
I want to speak on the fact that when you say you thought you was doing well, and then
I did.
That's funny because I had such a similar story that's so relatable, and I feel like a lot of people could like college is like a wake up call for a lot of people because I was my mom being promoted really helped when I was like 10, 12, and I was doing better than most. We didn't have a lot of money, but I was doing better than most, right? Then I went to college and I realized the difference, and I'm like, y'all parents paying for this? Like, is this shit expensive? Like that's when I realized there are levels to this wealth shit. Hey, your mom just bought you a PS4 for Christmas? What? Nigga, I was $25 gift limit. Anyway, I'll just add that on. I know we gotta wrap this.
Yeah, well, email. Here's the email everybody was asking for. Email. Make sure you put the chapter names in the subject so we know what chapter you're able to assist. And anything else, Savvy, Rome, Nick, any final words anybody wants to give before we head out here? I know Savvy
Donate
really has to head out
to this damn library. And I'm trying to get Jimmy Dore to donate to tag all them rich motherfuckers. Tag all these rich ass lefties, the PMCs, even the ones that we don't like. Tell them to put their fucking money where their mouth is. If they want to help the people, we can
That's
do it
true.
right here and right now.
That's true. That's true. This is a
Push this
library.
shit.
This is for the community. So why wouldn't you donate even if you don't like RBN? So I mean, I'm serious. So Sabby, any final thoughts before you wanted to take off, or anybody got it?
Yeah,
I know you say you gotta go.
No, just keep on trucking on. You know, we're heading to 2024, so it's about to get. If you think people are upset now, wait, it's about to get really crazy. Wait, next year, people are going to be really angry. Watch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we finally have a GoFundMe. I'll put it up as you talk, Nick. I'll put it up. We finally have our GoFundMe. So
if you think people are mad at us,
bye, Sab. Sabby's gonna jump out real quick.
Yeah.
Bye, Sab.
If you think people are mad at us for challenging Marianne Wilson, wait until Trump derangement syndrome hit its height. Right now it's some baby ass shit. Right now, he's not the direct threat. Wait till it's 3 months where he might take a White House, and they're gonna go after everyone who's not going, they're not supporting Biden. How dare you be complicit with helping Trump? But wait till we get that heat. You guys think we got hit before? Wait till the general election start, because all the progressives, all the pretend radicals, they all gonna come together. Like, yeah, I know Biden has been great, but we got to defeat fascism. We're gonna be there like, fuck you. And that's when we're gonna really take heat. Because I remember 2020. I didn't have a big platform like then. It was decent, but I remember 2020 heat. Dude,
we're gonna take some heat. We're gonna take some
cancellations
during that. Yeah, we're gonna take some heat. So, but I just wanted to announce the launch of our GoFundMe. We kept the link private until we wanted to save it for our anniversary. This is another thing I didn't mention. Our anniversary celebration is not just one day. It's going to be throughout the month. We're going to have other things happening, like our chapter launches are going to be later in the month. Here's our GoFundMe. Our GoFundMe launch. We wanted to wait till April before we actually launched it publicly. So you can go there now and donate. We're raising. Now, this is separate from, we have a separate GoFundMe for the library, and we can also put that up. So this is for donating directly to RBN. Here's our GoFundMe. It's up. So, a lot of people, I won't say that, but for those that wanted to see us, how close we are to the target and how, in real time, here is what you have. You can share it. Please share if you can. If you're not able to donate, but we are currently raising $1,000. That's what this campaign, and it's ongoing. Every month we'll be raising $1,000 through this GoFundMe account for our labor. There you go. So it takes PayPal, it takes debit, it takes credit card. It's something I'm missing. It's one other thing it takes. But yeah, you can go there and donate there on GoFundMe.
Yeah, well said. So I'll pass to you so you can send this out. But Wednesday, I have Blue Moon Red Wine. She'll be joining me. Jay, our social media manager, as well, with Zoya for Nick at Night. Should be a powerful panel on Wednesday. I'll have some more guest announcements. Probably on Monday. I got a few guests I'm working on for you guys. I know you guys enjoy those sit-down conversations. And Kid, if you're still watching, we gotta do a Nick and
I love those on Saturdays. I love those on Saturdays.
Yeah, I already know Kid probably watching. I know he's down, so we gotta do that probably next Saturday or two. So we got a lot of things I'm working on. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you check and make sure you subscribe as well, because YouTube been doing a lot of funny things recently. I'm gonna talk to Pasta. I saw Pasta send out a tweet today, like, dude, YouTube doing some funny ass shit, and they are. So make sure you guys do your due diligence and check your subscriptions and share it to your friend, because the algorithm is not gonna help us. And you guys see me next week. I got a lot of great show plans for you guys, and I have more guest announcements maybe on Monday. I'll see you guys then.
All right, and we're going to end with this video again, but I'll let Rome say your final words before I start this video. I'm surprised, Rome, because I did a check to make sure it wouldn't be no copyright problem.
Yeah.
And then I ran it through, and YouTube was like, oh, Nas allows people to use this shit. I was like, what? So like this won't be no strike or nothing. They play the sound and everything. Now we can't get monetized. I mean, we can't make money off this music,
Yeah, of course.
but they allow it. They don't mute it or anything like that. So awesome. But final words, sir, before we
I just wanted to
close out
thank John for the $10, Hassan for the $100 for donating to the library, watching the stream. Yo, I appreciate it so much, man, because I am tired. I'm not gonna lie. I spent 7 days working in that damn building last week. You know, every day I went to sleep in there and I woke up working. You know, went to sleep working, woke up working. I'm trying my best to, you know, get this building open and just get everything rolling, because what's holding me back right now is basically just the carpet, because it's $5,000 just for the carpet. Like I can probably work around all the other shit if that carpet wasn't 60 years old. And I'm not exaggerating. The carpet was 60 years old.
I'm not exaggerating, y'all. It's 60 years.
It was fucked, man. It was fucked. But we get that carpet in. I'm about to, as soon as it stopped being rainy and gloomy out here, I'm about to strip this roof. Like I already got the shingles. I need to buy some felt paper, you know. So we got to get this going, man. We should be open by next month. I'm pushing for next month. That way I can get back to the community garden, get back to these tours, you know, sniffing out some strongholds, et cetera, et cetera. But we need this building open ASAP. You know, it's going to be a landmark. This is a landmark that we are building. You know, this is the future and history that we are writing right now, and we can really, you know, set something in stone with this. You know, so just give what you can. If you can't give anything, just share it if you can, please.
Yeah, absolutely, and I second that for any of our fundraising. So at the bottom, you see the RBN GoFundMe for those that were just asking. It is new. It's first time we showed it. And we're gonna end now. This is a video done by our editor, Aaron. So make sure you toss a couple of dollars to our GoFundMe to support Aaron and the work that she does. $1, $2, $3, whatever you can afford. Toss it, or at least share it, like Rome said. Here is I won't, and yeah, here is Cop Shot the Kid. Our how we see this song and what it displays visually.